5 books in 5 days, where I read 5 books in, you guessed it, 5 days. Now, 2 things are true. Number 1, I am way too behind on my reading goal this year by like over 20 books at this point. Number 2, so many books on my physical TBR are short. So this is an opportunity for me to feed 2 birds with 1 scone. First up, we've got What Feasts at Night, which is a sequel to What Moves the Dead by T. Kingfisher, which was a retelling of Fall of the House of Usher. I really enjoyed that one. It's gothic, haunted house, demonic bunnies, like, what more can you ask for? I have just reached about 30% and I'm definitely predicting a 5-star read, and I have no doubt that I will be able to finish it today. I have forgotten how amazing of a writer Kingfisher is. They're just so good at writing the dark fairy tale genre. The gothic atmosphere is so prominent throughout. Like, the imagery is just chef's kiss. I love all of the whimsical characters that are all so different from one another. And what I really like as well for this one in particular is that even though it is set in like the late 1800s, there is still talk around like gender bending and mental health, PTSD. Okay, I had to step away because it's getting really creepy. There was a moment there where just like full body goosebumps. Oh, it's so good. It's so creepy, and the suspense just builds and builds. I love that it's a novella. I think it just works perfectly as one. I'm at 60% and it's still looking like a 5-star read for me. I'm gonna try to finish it up before it gets dark out because I'm a scaredy cat. Day 1, book 1 finished. It took me about 4 hours or so to read 150 pages. What an amazing book. I both listened to the book and read the physical copy. I will say the audiobook is really, really good, and I'm pretty fussy with audiobooks. I just think the narrator does a really good job at representing the main character. Like, her voice is a little lower, a little rough, and that's exactly what I pictured for Alex Easton, our main character. The pace is also really, really good. Like, you feel the tension throughout. I would recommend this book whether or not you've read What Moves the Dead. It works as a standalone. I also don't think it matters in which order you read the books, because at the end, you kind of get a few Easter eggs here that actually made me want to revisit What Moves the Dead, to be honest. So I think it could work either way. I'll probably wait to do a full review of this on my monthly wrap-up because I need to sit with it for a little bit. I need to stew on some things because the horror in this book does a really good job of representing themes of trauma and PTSD in general. So I just want to sit with that for a bit and revisit a couple passages that really hit for me. In the end, an easy 5 stars. This is setting the bar pretty high for 5 books in 5 days. Welcome to day 2 of reading 5 books in 5 days. Yesterday was so much fun. Loved the book. Can't wait to get into another book. This is definitely getting me out of my slump, by the way, so I'm very excited about it. Okay, I've narrowed it down to 3 books after going through my shelves last night. First one is Time as a Mother by Ocean Vuong. This is a poetry collection. I've been meaning to get into Ocean Vuong's work for a while now, so I think this could be a good opportunity. Another one that I picked out was Playing Atari with Saddam Hussein. This is about a young boy who grows up in Hussein's Iraq in 1991, and he kind of draws comparisons around like his reality and his Atari games. And I think it'd be really fast-paced, kind of keep that momentum going. It is a little bit more middle grade YA, so this could definitely be a contender next to A Magical Girl Retires. I've only heard the best things about this book, and I was really drawn to it because there are quite a bit of like illustrations. Even though it is a little over 200 pages, I think this would still be a really fast-paced read. I have taken a peek. It looks so beautiful. I might just start with both of these two and see which one clicks. have reached the 25% mark. It is good. It is difficult to read. A little bit heartbreaking, like hearing the child's perspectives because they're still so innocent. They're like, yay, a war, like we don't have to go to school, you know? But then you, as a reader, you do see the like PTSD starting to creep in little moments, because for context, this is Iraq, right, in 1991. So this is the war with the States, with Bush Sr. But a few years prior to this war, they were at war with Iran, I believe, for like 8 years. So this is not new to them. So that PTSD is quite prominent throughout. But of course, they don't know that. I wanted to hop on because there is just a little excerpt I wanted to share. I just feel like these few lines really sum up the book quite a bit so far and the kind of narration style. While I sleep, I dream that I'm the frog in the Frogger game. I'm hopping over animated bricks and stones and pieces of metal. Then the dream gets weird, and I'm leaping over people's heads. Omars and Umars and Saddams and celebrities and grandparents. I wake up before I get splatted, crossing the road of faces. Halfway point check-in. I'm still enjoying it as much. One thing I will say is I was listening to about 30 minutes of this while I was doing some chores around the house. I don't recommend the audiobook if you have an option to read the physical. I would highly suggest that one. The narrator, in my opinion, just really takes you out of it. It's really too caricature, I want to say. And I get it, like if this is middle grade, like maybe it's supposed to be that way, but as an adult reader, it's not great. Okay, finished the book. I read this in, I want to say about 4 hours or so. I enjoyed this. The child narrator was very sweet. It is very much middle grade. I thought it might be a little bit more YA. It's not. Obviously, because it is middle grade, it doesn't go as in depth around the details and the complexities of the war, of course. The only thing I will say that I didn't love about this book is that there's definitely a lot of like American propaganda, which definitely gave me the ick, especially like everything that's been going on over the past couple of years. Literally watching like wars and genocides being live streamed and people still idolizing the States. It's just, it wasn't good timing for me to read something like this. And to be fair, I don't think that opinion of mine will ever change anyway. So I won't be keeping it. I also don't think I'll be recommending it to people. I might just, donate it, and then whoever is meant to find it will find it.
Welcome to day 3. I can't believe I still have such momentum. Like I mentioned previously, I just gotten out of the worst slump I've been in like 5 or 6 years. I am just someone who sometimes needs to like dive off the deep end, and that's exactly what this challenge has been. I am officially out of my reading slump. Thank you so much. Today we do have a bit of a longer book to get through, Foe by Ian Reid. Now the reason why I've chosen this one is because I do have to have it read for a book club in August, alongside another book, Cure for Drowning, which is like 500 pages. So I thought this one would be more appropriate for the challenge.
Okay, first 50 pages in, I've been reading for a little over an hour and I am so hooked. I just had to hop on really quickly because I need to correct myself in saying that this book is absolutely a sci-fi thriller specifically. So originally I had set up like farm ambiance in terms of like background noise and visuals. No, that quickly switched to like dark mystery vibes. I have so many predictions and so many guesses as to what is going on. Can't wait to find out, which is good news because that means I'll most likely be finishing the book today. So right off the bat, we're introduced to a couple who live on this really old farmhouse. They've been there a while together. It's a little bit in the outskirts, away from any city or anything. And right off the bat, they're visited by a government official who who lets the husband know that he's been selected through a lottery system to be one of the first humans on this new planet. Now, that alone, cool, interesting. But what makes it so good is the atmosphere. Like, the way he delivers the news and then the reactions to the news are so creepy. Like, the government official is very much giving Mr. Smith from the Matrix like alien-y vibes, and the wife's reaction is also just so bizarre. Like, we know something is going on. What I love about this too is that we're only getting the husband's perspective, and I just eat up an unreliable narrator. We have officially reached the 50% mark, and I am still absolutely loving it. I am still predicting a 5-star read. I'm so pleasantly surprised because I really was not expecting it to be such a thriller. I'm usually not a thriller fan, but this is doing it for me. One thing I will mention is that I'm like very surprised that it was the first book kicked off from the Canada Reads competition this year. I find the themes would be like really relevant for that competition. It talks a lot about like belonging, about memory, about lingering in the past and being able to move forward. One thing in particular that I really enjoy in here is this like idea of being content somehow not being enough. For a lot of people, this culture we have of always needing and wanting more and more and more, this overconsumption, it's just doing a really good job of asking some difficult questions that I think would be phenomenal for a Canada Reads debate and a book club, actually. I am absolutely shooketh. Another 5-star read. I would actually place this one even above What Feasts at Night. So Foe coming in the number 1 slot. What a good book. There was like a moment of like 20% in the middle where I was like, oh, it's getting repetitive. But once you find out why it's repetitive, like, mind absolutely blown. I cannot wait to reread this book. I'm gonna go right in and watch the movie, and then I'm gonna go buy Ian Reid's other book. I'm thinking of ending things because this man can write. For the last like 40% of the book, I did do an immersive read, and the audiobook is really, really good. So I do highly recommend reading this either way. I would recommend this book to like mostly any reader. It touches on women's fiction, it touches on literary fiction, it's a thriller and sci-fi. Let me know when you read this book because I want to talk to all of you about it. We're getting into the final stretch with day 4. Now today, I'm going to be an outside girly after 3 days of like gloomy, rainy weather. It is finally just so gorgeous outside. So I'm going to the beach, and what better place to read a poetry collection. So this is Time as a Mother by Ocean Vuong. I have yet to read any of Vuong's work, which quite frankly is embarrassing at this point, but I thought it would fit the vibes for the beach. It's shorter as well, and because I have plans, it just makes this a little bit more doable for me. Let's go. Okay, I am home. I am also exhausted. But I am a little bit further than 50% of the way through, so I am going to sit my butt down and finish it, despite not really enjoying it. I'm gonna be honest, I just feel kind of stupid. Like, I'm just not understanding most of the writing. There's a couple poems that I do enjoy, but even the ones I like, I think I like them because I finally understand something. I'm not really connecting to them. Like I said, I'm at about 50%, and there's only been like one of them that has had me kind of like stop and reflect and reread, which, you know what? One is better than none, and I am happy for that, which is why I am going to finish the book tonight. If there's one more, then I'm excited for that one. I can't get through it tonight, guys. I just do not have the patience for it. I tried another like 20 pages and I just find myself mindlessly scanning the page. Like, for what? What am I looking for? I don't know. Normally, I would just have DNF'd this book at this point, but for the challenge, it's not really an option. I'm going to set this down for the night, and then tomorrow I'm going to start and finish another book completely, and then I will wrap up the night with this one because I really only have about another like hour left of reading. I just do not have the patience for that tonight. So I will check in with you tomorrow. Good morning. I am feeling much more rested, so let's wrap this up. But first, coffee. I was able to finish it up, and I'm glad I did, because there was one poem in particular there in the last hour that really hit home for me. Now, one thing Ocean clearly does very, very well is visuals. The poem I'm referring to was Ocean just kind of reflecting through their entire life, but through the perspective of like a VHS player, so like rewinding, pausing, etc., and then even having like the glitches that you sometimes saw in VHS movies. And I just really liked that visual because it kind of helped me navigate the poem. It was a significantly longer poem than the others as well, so having that like really, really helped me. It also moved as like a bit of a timeline, so there was more structure to it, which did work for me. While it's not something I will reach for again, I liked Ocean's writing enough that I am looking forward to reading their other book, On Earth We're Briefly Gorgeous. I've heard that's absolutely incredible, and I'd be very curious to see how they write in novel form. I think this was just a little too metaphorical for me and a little too like flow of consciousness, if that makes sense. If that's up your alley, I would recommend it because the themes in here are deep and interesting and speak to Ocean's experience, especially around like sexuality and gender. We are day 5, part 2. I have narrowed it down to 3 options for today. I really want to end this challenge with a bang. So I've chosen 3 books that I think will definitely keep the momentum going. It will be really interactive and potentially have a third 5-star read. So I still have Magical Girl Retires, which was one of my choices for day 3. There's something just really like pulling me to this book. The only thing is that the themes in here are similar themes that I saw in Time as a Mother, and I don't know, I'm feeling like I might want something lighter. So I also chose Rebel by Beverly Jenkins. I have yet to read any Beverly Jenkins, but apparently she is like the queen of historical romance, and I do love a cute little summer romance read. The only thing is it is over 300 pages, but it's a pocketbook, so math. And then finally, I chose Strange Pictures by Yuketsu, which I've heard is like the most interactive book. It's a mystery that you help solve. It just looks like an absolute blast, and I have major FOMO. So I am between these two. The more I talk about it, I think I'm gonna go with Strange Pictures. The historical aspect of this is just throwing me off a little bit, plus the pages are like really dark. So I'm not sure if I want to spend like 4 to 6 hours reading this in one sitting. Okay, I am officially at 50% and I am eating it up. No doubt that I will be able to finish this today because I absolutely cannot stop. This follows 2 or 3 families and how they're all kind of like interconnected to the same crimes that have remained mysteries, so they're unsolved, and the acquaintances of each family are kind of the people who are gradually solving these cases, and we're going through different pieces of evidence as they're going through it, so it's very interactive. There's a bunch of photos in here to help us. It is so much fun. There's another book in the series that I already cannot wait to read. Do we have a change in plans? Yes, absolutely. I stepped on a giant ass rock and I cannot get it out of my foot. So I'm heading to a clinic to get that taken care of, and then to get myself a little bit of a tetanus shot because I don't know where that rock came from, where it's been, and it's been like at this point over 10 years since I've gotten a booster. So off on that adventure. I only have about 80 pages left of the book, so I'm hoping I'll get some good reading done in the waiting room. Okay, it ended up being a huge ass piece of glass. Anyway, it's out. I got my tetanus shot, and then I grabbed some French pastries, as one does. What? Okay, this is getting so dark. Like, it's been a crime, like a mystery the whole time. It's been like a little gory and stuff, but it's getting like dark. I'm on the last 30 pages. I'll see you in a bit. It's over! I can't believe it. This was so much fun. I am very officially out of my slump. Like, I'm already starting to think of the books I want to read for my physical TBR, like, tonight. Strange Pictures, I ended up giving 4.5 stars. I was thinking 5 stars nearly the whole way, but then that last like 20%, it really didn't wrap up the way I was wanting it to. That's all I can say, I think, without ruining anything. But either way, it's still so much fun, a very immersive read. So now I guess I should rank them. In first place, an easy choice for me is Foe by Ian Reid. Second place, I'm gonna give it to What Feasts at Night. I really liked that book and it made me hop back on the Kingfisher train for sure. In third place, I'll give it to Strange Pictures. I just had so much fun reading this book. And then in second place, I'll give it to Playing Atari with Saddam Hussein. And in last place, I'll give it to Time is a Mother by Ocean Vuong. All of these were really good books. The only thing with Time is a Mother is that it wasn't my style of poetry, like I mentioned. And Playing Atari just read a little too middle grade for my liking. But none of them were bad books. They kept the momentum going throughout. That means for July, I've read a total of 7 books, and I haven't read that many books in a month at all this year. I feel rejuvenated. And I hope you had a good time following along. If you've been thinking about doing this challenge, I highly recommend it. One thing I would say though is like, I think the genre hopping really helped. Like, each book was so different from the other. So definitely keep that in mind. Have you read any of these 5 books or any of the authors? Let me know in the comments. Or are you going to add any of them on your TBR now? Let me know. Until next time, happy reading.